Yeah, hi all. So this is me, Ankit Jain. So I'm a technical architect at an MNC. I'm ATNX certified. I'm active in Salesforce events. I have a YouTube channel by the name of Interviews with Ankit Jain. This is my LinkedIn URL. This is the QR code. So you can feel free to connect with me. So to be updated on the future sessions, you can subscribe to my channel, Work Interviews with Ankit Jain, or you can join the below WhatsApp group as well. So I provide resume tips, technical doubts or clarifications, career guidance, marketing as well. And so if you want to avail the service, you can open this URL and book a session with me. So today we'll be covering the Apex collections. So first thing is like, why do we need collections? So the use case that we have is like for few scenarios, we want the things to be more organized. Like it is a kind of a data structure. Data structure helps us store the information the way we want so that either we are able to retrieve the information quickly, or we have to do the inserts or add elements to that quite fast. So in such scenarios, collections are used. So in Salesforce, we have three collections. We have sets, maps, and list. First, let's start with list. So list is like you have a set of data, and then the important part is you don't want any duplicates inside that. So what set does is like it gives you like it gives you a collection where you can just add in the elements. There is no sequence. It's totally unordered. The important difference is like this is totally unordered. There is no sequence of elements. Uh, if you have any doubt, feel free to speak up. Okay. Can someone acknowledge, please?
Yeah, Ankit, go ahead.
Yeah. But there's a catch. Like, see, Salesforce understands like it's a primitive data type. It would by default remove the duplicates. The catch comes up when it is user-defined data type. User-defined data type means either it could be your own yeah, wrapper classes. So in such scenarios, you will have to define your own means. You will have means if you have to use set, you'll have to override the equals and hash code method. You might say like why it is needed and why do I need to do such take some pain. So this is a practical example of a code. There's a sample for sample purpose. I've just created a wrapper class, my account. So in these two, there were two fields that I've taken, name and annual revenue. Logically, you might think like both are like the name is same, the annual revenue is same. So it should be if I do the assert, it should be equal. But ideally, it is means when I execute this code, it will turn out to be false. Why? Because Salesforce has it's like it has the both have different hash code. Different hash code means the equals method actually it runs based on the hash code method. So for this purpose, you will have to override the equals and hash code method. Equals, as the name suggests, if means it just tells you like whether an element is equal to other or not. So the return type is Boolean. Okay.
Mhm.
Please acknowledge, or if you have doubts, please interrupt me. I don't care, but I want the things to be very much clear because it's very important concept around equals and hash code. This actually concept is goes for the all the object-oriented languages, including Java. So when there's a user-defined data type, you will have to override this equals and hash code method so that it behaves like how you wanted it to be. So, like I have just put in the signature of the method, like equals method is the boolean is the return type, so it will check. And then what are different parameters that you want, like on when do you will you consider like two means two elements to be same? Like here we have put in like if the name and annual revenue is same, then it should consider as true. Otherwise, it should consider as false. So we have added it this condition. But this might happen like you will have a different scenario like there are for many other fields, so you will have to add the checks as per that. Like suppose it might happen like for you, there are multiple 3, 4 elements on which the you say like the element is unique. So you will have to add in the conditions as per your scenario. Please let me know like if there's any question around this because this is actually a bit of confusing. So I want like this to be very much clear to everyone. You're able to see the screen, right? You're able to see the Boolean equals method, right?
Yeah, Ankit, we can say the screen.
Uh, no doubt so far.
Mm, no, no doubt. Yeah.
You understood like why we are doing like why I'm focusing on the equals and hash code method because this element logically it should have said like the elements are same, but it does not. Why? Because it does the check based on the hash code method, means hash code value. So because of that limitation, I have to override the equals and hash code method. So equals, I just say like this is the condition on which it is equal, and hash code I have created means what we have done is like we are just use the hash code method of those individual fields and just put up a sign. So this could be or any other expression, but it should be integer only. Important part is this would remain integer. That's like the object class of Java itself, like it also behaves the same way. So this concept of equals and hash code is actually originated from Java. So the same is happening in Apex as well. I assume the things are clear. Feel free to interrupt me if you have any questions. So far, everything is good.
Yeah, Ankit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. The next is like, see, I know like now understood like what is a set and everything, but what's the advantage? Why do I use that? The main use case that I see practically is around the uniqueness or removing the duplicates. See, in many scenarios, like we get a list of records and we have to remove the duplicates. So instead of we carrying out a loop and adding the element and checking if that list contains that value or not, that is very much inefficient. Instead, the simple way would be like you create a set and add those all elements inside that, so automatically all the duplicates would get removed. Also, you can add and use the same property of uniqueness and use it in the inquiry. Like, 1 minute, let me just stop sharing and open the notepad once so that it's a bit more clear. Notepad. Like, suppose you have a normal query, like select ID from account where ID in. So here I can have a set of values as well. I can put in like set of values like this is like list and set. It takes in the uh, similar syntax. Whatever value. So here in this, see, otherwise what would happen is suppose instead of here, if I use list, there are chances like from where the elements there are, like suppose there's a scenario where we have like say when many suppose we have the account to contact relationship enabled and for a particular contact a particular contact is used across multiple accounts. Yeah, what I mean is like there's an account, there's a contact C1 which is associated with A1 as well, and the same one is also associated with A2. So in such scenarios, when I do a query like and try to get the ID of contact from means when I query from the account and I 1 minute, let me just type something.
But then Mohit, every contact can be associated to only one account, right?
So this is by default. I'm saying the scenario where it is account contact relationship is enabled.
Okay, it's ACR. Okay, you're talking. Yeah.
Yeah. For that scenario, or
Hmm.
there you could say like there are multiple opportunities. Let's remove the complexity and let's talk about opportunity and account. Like there might be multiple opportunities for a particular account. So if suppose I query from the opportunity and then I want to take all the account IDs. So it might happen like a account would have multiple opportunities. So in that scenario, if I use a list, there would be multiple elements added like twice. What I mean is like now, if there are multiple opportunities for an account, then this list would have duplicate values, correct? Right or not?
Yeah, correct, Ankit.
So, and then my query would become inefficient because the same ID I would be using in this
Mhm.
here as well. So, if I use a set, like for such scenarios where you have to take a unique ID, you use set in the such scenarios. So that is around the set. So set, I will show you. Let me just open that text. There's some. So mainly it's around like removing the duplicates and checking for uniqueness. Like you have a contains method, so you mean whether you can check like if that element exists or not, and
Mhm.
then you can do the manipulation collection of unique ID. Performance is also sets is quite efficient if I have to do perform some operations. So, practically speaking, mostly what you would be working on the set methods is around the add, like you are adding that element or add all. Mostly these three methods you would be utilizing in your career. Mostly there would be others as well, and then you also have the contains method. Equals hash code you will have to use only if you are using a custom wrapper.
Mm.
Then the empty check. Mostly we use these methods only. There are some others as well removing. Normally, we have not seen people remove anything or utilize the retain all method so far. But yeah, we can do that and we can check the size as well. So this is mostly
Mm.
this is around the set. Any questions or any use case you want to say like where why we don't use set?
Ankit, what is the use of that hashcode function, hashcode
Ha-
method?
Hash code actually it's a unique code like how we have the primary key. Sorry, how we have the ID field.
Right.
So what it does is like originally by default, what hashcode does the calculations around the memory storage, like where that element is located. It has original concept was around that in Java. Here I don't know like, but it's around the location only storage. So what it's like a uniqueness, like it's a code to identify like if an element is duplicate or not.
Yeah. Suppose there are multiple sets, so every set will be having different hash codes, right? Yeah.
Correct. Actually,
Got
each
it.
yeah. Any other question? No questions? Can someone confirm? Shall I move ahead?
No
Even
questions.
even the
No questions.
slightest even slightest doubt you have, you can ask. Everyone sure?
Memo.
Yeah, Ankit, sure.
Okay. Then we'll talk about maps. See, map is like your key value. So it's like a pretty much a JSON. JSON also works like a key pair. So originally, like map is of different types. If we talk about from the data structure point of view in Java, but here, like in Salesforce, what they said is like all the maps actually are actually hash maps. So every key would be unique. So it would be stored in that format only. Like I will stop sharing and open the this one. What do you say? Notepad plus plus, and give me 1 second. I think my screen should be visible, I guess, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so this is like a very simple map of around name and age. So this is the key. So here what would happen is, I have put in this value, like if suppose I do one more thing, instead of this, now I just make it as 70. Now what would happen is like it would override the original 30 value and make it 70. It does not, it will not give you any error. It will directly just override the value. Is it clear? Or shall I go in more detail?
Yeah, it's clear, Ankit.
Uh,
Right.
Another thing, don't think like map is very much simple. Map has like too much complexity if you come in across multiple scenarios like that. Like I will give you one example. 1 minute. Uh, for this sample sake, I'm writing like limit clause without any where clause. Ideally, there should be a limit where clause everywhere. Like assume like I have a requirement, like I want to show like from that I want to show a structure where there is like an account like this, and then suppose I have to show kind of this structure. I would need a map where I, for that account, I know how many childs are there, how many contacts are there, right? Hello?
Yeah, correct, Ankit.
So for this, like I will have to create a map of this. So I will have, now I'm just populating this map. Okay. So that you understand in your practical career, there might be even more complex scenarios that you might come across. So like this, it's a very simple scenario. I just tried to mimic. Like even this kind of map could also happen, like ID, and then you have a list of contacts for that. Also, this kind of scenario, it might happen like you have like account, you have the contact ID, and then you have another like uh, on the contact, you have, sorry. Now, what you have to do is suppose there are multiple opportunities, okay, on a particular account. Then what you have to do is like you have to show contacts with we have to show the contacts with the relevant opportunities as well. So for such scenario, kind of scenarios as well, you can use the map to do the binding and then get that worked out. So for complex scenarios where you want like the ID is unique, the key is unique, and you have a set of data. So and you want to retrieve it as well through that key, so you can use map. So and one more practical use case. Let me just stop sharing and opening. Let me open this one. The deck. The very common scenario, which I think everybody has done if they've written the code, trigger code. Like we don't execute, let the code execute all the time. We want to check like if the particular thing has changed, then only that code should get executed. So here as well, like your trigger.old map and trigger.new map, both are actually maps only. So what you do is like you get the old map that record, and then you apply that check. If I suppose if I don't use map, then I will have to go with two loops, which is again more inefficient. So this actually reduces my complexity. So this is the advantage I get with map. Is it clear or
It's clear, Ankit. Yeah.
sure?
Yeah, for me, it's clear, Ankit. Yeah.
Any other use cases anybody recollects or where they have any doubt or anything like that?
It's clear, Sanjay.
Okay. Yeah. So the next is around list. So again, yeah, one more part. There are few scenarios which map cannot do, but list can do. Like you can't actually, like in your database dot insert or your insert, you can't write a map directly. You will have to go with list. List dot means when if you suppose use, I think I forgot to talk about the methods of this thing map. Let's I was actually preparing the deck only. My screen is visible, I guess.
Yes.
So there are a few methods that we normally use with map, like get key, means map dot key set, then contains key. Then we also use uh, like get method values. Like suppose if I want to get the different values of means the right side, the values that I have. 1 minute. Like suppose I have to get all these values 30, 25, 35, 70, then I can use the values method. Then dot key set. Key set will actually, by the name itself, it is set, so it is a set of values. So this will have to be unique all the time. So this will give me like a list with 30. I will make it John 1 so that it makes sense what I'm saying. And while it would return me John 1 LA. Then contains key. Contains key is very important here actually in any map. Because if you don't apply this check and directly proceed with that, it would override the original value. The main thing, like here I have not added this because it's like account ID will never be duplicate. Is it clear?
Yeah, got it, Ankit. Ankit, then the return type will be list, right, for values and key set.
No, this would be list and this would be set.
Yeah, the key set will be set. So,
Because this is
mhm,
the key is set is unordered.
correct.
So we'll just go a few methods that Salesforce provides. There should be some methods. Map dot size also you have the method to count how many elements are there in. Then you can pass in the list as well. Like if you have I assume like you all know this syntax. What I'm just going to write. This syntax I assume like everybody knows that we can write this.
Yeah, Ankit, we are aware of it.
Yeah, so this is the same. Like this is actually a list of records. This is a list, right? By default, it returns a list.
Yeah,
So
correct.
this is the same method like which they are talking about here.
Mhm. Yeah, correct.
Then clear means clear removing all the values. Deep flow means again it's like making a copy. Then equals checking the mapper equal or not. Get we normally use this method. hash code again for user defined data type key set of all values. Put, yeah, like I have already added the values, so it is like put and put all also you can use. That is a regular one that we normally use. So I think we covered the major methods of map. Any questions so far or anything? Or any thought process around or your own views or you want to double clarify something like that?
It's clear, Ankit. Ankit, the first example you gave, you created a class and then you have created a equal and a hash code method. The first
Yeah, yeah.
first
That was around the set.
yeah. Mhm. So
Yes. Yeah.
here like before overriding that equal and hash code method, you are comparing those two records, right? Uh,
Where
system dot you are using that system dot assert somewhere.
system.assert is actually I'm
Mhm,
doing that so that to make you aware like these are not actually we think like it is equal but it is not
mhm, mhm,
or even means or I can write it as equals
mhm. Yeah. Mm,
and then it would return as false. It would give you
mhm.
an error.
Yeah, that's okay. But once we override the when we once we create our own equals and hash code method, so
Then it
how?
would work fine. Then it would means
Okay, okay. Then
then what we can have to do is like you can just yeah directly you can write like foo1 equal foo2 then it would return you true.
so can we directly put equals symbol there, or do we have to use dot equal and then in bracket we have to add
Directly
photo?
you can use it like foo1 equal to foo2.
Okay, okay.
So this was like we covered set and maps. The next is around list. So the major difference around list and set is like set is not at all ordered. We don't know the sequence. List is like we know the sequence and we actually use that. Is when notepad plus plus visible?
Can get we can say.
So sometimes like you yourself would have done that. Like we have like if we have the ID. Why we are able to do write this get zero? Because it is indexed. We know where it is stored, like where from where it would start. So that way we are able to get the values as per the index, even we are able to add. Like suppose I want to add a value. I can add in the index number where I want to add and then I can create a new account. ID equal to whatever ID I want to put. Like this also I can write in. Basically, I can add the element dynamically. I can get the value based on index. I can add as per the specific index. I can add one list inside another one. I can remove elements from the like using the index. I can remove the elements as well.
Yeah, can we create the account like this by uh, that hard coding the ID? Like,
Yes, why can't we can do that?
mhm. But IDs are system generated, right? So
Yeah, so I'm assuming like I'm hard coding this ID to uh, just demonstrate purpose.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Otherwise, you can retrieve it from the database. Like I just want to demonstrate, like we can create a element on that particular index. That's what I
Yeah,
wanted to.
yeah, got
And
it.
XX because it would start with 001 because it's account. Rest
Got it.
values, I'm not sure.
Yeah, correct.
So I think we covered the list as well. You can update like in the insert database.insert. We use this list. Any specific question or anything you want to ask around this?
More than what is the difference between object and S objects? Like
See,
I always get.
all objects in Salesforce are inheriting it from the S object. All objects like account, contact, all other base objects are is coming from S object,
Mm-hmm.
and all your wrapper classes, it originates from object class.
Okay.
Actually, this
And
S object is also inheriting internally with the object only, where it has the what I assume the scenario is like it is like object comes first, then it comes the S object, then you have your own objects as well.
like,
But S object means it's a database table. If suppose it is not a table, then also you can use the object hash code and all those methods.
yeah, yeah, correct. So we can like we cannot insert S objects directly, right? We'll have to first
No,
typecast. We'll have to
no, not needed.
so
Let me just give you an example. Like suppose this is I get an element, okay. Now I create this one. This I can do, right?
correct.
I can write it like this. Let me update that and execute it.
So we can do database operations on S objects, right? Means we need
Yes,
not to
yes, yes,
typecast them.
yes, yes, yes.
And then suppose if I create a list of S objects and if I can put multiple multiple types of S objects, right? I can add account, contact there, right?
Yeah.
It will take so and if I try to insert it, so will it work?
Let it should. Let's do it in action. Sorry. What to add in the debug log. DML is executed. Now we need to just figure out this is the record.
Yeah, correct.
Now we'll go to that record.
Yeah, it's great.
It doesn't really need anything. It because the natural signature of the insert or update says like it should be S object.
And suppose if I create a list of a subject and added
Objects. Yeah.
multiple objects in it and then try to update the list. So
Then
will
also
it
it would like unless like if it is a complete single list of S object, it would automatically handle this scenario.
correct. Okay. Yeah, got it, Ankit. Yeah, thank you.
Any other question? Uh, Feel free to ask like if even if it's a silly question, doesn't really matter.
Can you explain it one more example with real-time use case of map?
Real-time use case, what I've seen so far, like if you have a complex thing suppose you have data coming in from like account contact and then sorry, opportunity and there is opportunity product. Okay, let's take example of these three objects. Okay, 1 minute.
Okay.
Like suppose there's an account A1, it has opportunity OPP1, and the opportunity product is OPP product 1. And for this opportunity product, the price is sorry. For that opportunity product means opportunity product would have the product lookup. So assume that the product name is say TV. If suppose I have the requirement to show like what the accounts which has the product name as TV. How do we do that? You like to have to create a map of account to opportunity, opportunity to opportunity product to product, and then apply the operations.
Okay.
1 minute. Let me just try something. It's like the example which I'm saying. Actually, I haven't uh, tried it. Let me just try doing it. I don't know the child relationship name of this, so I'm taking a little liberty here. So don't select that.